handsome you look. Did you actually shave for the show? Look at you.
For the show.
Dang. Put it down a little bit. Let me see what you got.
Put a
Yeah,
little
man.
put a little
I want
shine
to.
on
There we
there
go. There we go.
for good luck.
Yeah, it's so nice to
The
have my.
beard finally came off after a couple years.
Yeah, but you know what? You look. It looks nice and clean. It looks great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, enough talking about how handsome you are. So it's nice to have you here because I know there's been times when I've been doing these episodes and you're in the office right next to me. So this is perfect. Sorry I had to kick you out, but I can't be hearing you twice.
Yeah, it could be problematic, I think.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I
That's
can.
all right. Look, I got this set up.
Hey, so Zark, how long have you been doing commercial real estate? Because I know that you love doing like shopping centers, retail, that kind of thing. I've been getting to know you because you came upstairs and we're in offices right next to each other. We got the sweet spot upstairs. But how long have you been doing it? Give everyone an idea, kind of your sweet spot and what's a perfect deal look like for you.
Yeah, so for us, let's see, 2000 commercial real estate has been since 2013, but I've been in real estate since somewhere around I think 2004 or 5. When it started mortgage origination. After that, got into when that crashed in '08, got into residential real estate where I was there for about 5 or 6 years. And
I didn't
then,
know that.
yeah, yeah,
You were
I
in
was
residential?
in residential real estate. Yeah, man, it's actually, let's see, I had a little farm in Sherman Oaks where I picked up my first listing south of Boulevard from my farm, and then I joined Harm's team and got into the REO game, and that was just a million miles an hour. I was his buyer's agent. Sometimes I'd go do a little bit of property preservation work. I don't know if you remember those days in like '09, 10, 11. Karma was getting maybe like 150 REOs a year.
Wow, it's nuts.
I was all over the city in my E-class, servicing
Uh-huh.
foreclosures. Yeah, man, it was a really interesting time. But we saw the first, at least from what I remember, maybe there's people who remember this from a previous era, but I saw the first of the cash for keys. I remember writing a
Mm-hmm.
$19,000 check to a little immigrant family that was sleeping in a shed behind a house in South LA. No, no running water. It's just a shed, like a
Mm-hmm.
storage shed. And I went in there. I was like, "Who are we giving $19,000 to? That's great. That's a lot of money." And then I go there and see
Wow.
them, and I couldn't believe it. The kid was wearing a Superman costume, and he was showing me his costume. It was like like a 3-year-old kid. I was like, "Oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
$19,000 is not enough." I remember those days. I inherited a cat from all this. I inherited a cat. We had a foreclosure in Harma had a foreclosure in Baldwin. I always confuse the two. Baldwin Hills or Baldwin Park.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice area, and this nice house that was designed by Paul Williams, the architect, and
Mm-hmm.
he had designed it for his friend who was the original owner of the house, and now she had passed away. The son had taken over, and it into the ground. Such a gorgeous design. Ran the house into the ground, and he foreclosed. So we had to give this guy cash for keys to
Uh-huh.
get out. So I show up with a check. I said, "I can't give you the check. This house is filled with trash. So you got to empty it."
Uh-huh.
So I can't remember what happened. I think maybe I got an okay to spend like $600 on a trash out. So I called the trash out guy, went and came back. I come back to check the house to give this guy the check, his cash for keys check to leave. He's got a cat in a little cage in a little kennel. And
Mm-hmm.
I go, "Well, where are you gonna go?" I mean, we're human. Man. People are leaving where they live. This guy's lived here his whole life. It was his mom's house.
Right.
Where's he gonna? So I go, "Where are you going?" He goes, "To an apartment." He goes, "But what sucks is I can't take the cat to the apartment." I said, he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what are you gonna do with it?" He goes, "I'm probably gonna take it to the shelter." I'm a
Mm-hmm.
dog guy, but I go,
Mm-hmm.
if that cat goes to the shelter, the full-grown cat, it's gonna get euthanized in like a month or a week. Who knows? I don't
Right.
know how fast cats go, but they go really fast. I go, you know what? In my mind, I said, I'm not keeping a cat, but not because I hate cats, because the dander kind of
Sure.
affects my breathing a little bit. Look, you know what? Every animal has a right to determine their own fate. So I'll just let it go free in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? I'll just bring it home and I'll just let it go. Let it determine its own fate. It's better than caging it straight to death. You know what I mean? So
Right.
anyway, I know we're veering off
I
here,
see
but
where this is going, by the way.
I bring the cat home, and I put it on my doorstep. I put some food for it, and the cat never leaves. So it was
Mm-hmm.
like our front door cat for ages. Great cat.
Uh-huh. So you had
Tiki.
you had the benefit of having a cat without all the claw marks and the spraying and the fur and all that.
That's right.
And you
Yeah.
took care of and you still took care of him. Did you name him?
I kept the same name. They had named it Tiki. So it was Tiki the cat. Sweetest cat. Anytime I get home, she just come up and rub up against my leg and say hi, and she was always, always there. So that's some of the stuff that happened in residential. 2013, I got into the commercial game, man, and it was just full throttle. It's a different
Well,
ball
what
game.
about, so what is your sweet spot in commercial real estate?
Multi-tenant retail. It picked me. I
Hmm.
didn't choose it. I chose apartments, went after apartments, but somehow I ended up with my first shopping center listing, a 28,000 square foot shopping center in Palmdale, courtesy to a small REIT group, private equity group that gave me a chance. They took a chance on me and they gave me that listing,
Great.
and that was it. It just made sense. It worked. That shopping center caused me to call a whole bunch of other shopping center owners, and and I just kind of fell into that circle, and it started to work.
It
I love it.
seems like people meet you and they believe in you because you have Harma, who's our fearless leader over at Equity Union, that believed in you early on, and now then you got this other group that believed in you. That's pretty cool. It says a lot about you.
Scott Nell believed in me, asked me to join his podcast.
I still do. I'm
I
no
know,
Harma
yeah.
Hartooni, but
Dude, I remember the lunch, you and I, we did a breakfast or a lunch about a year ago this time, just to talk about like the future of business and stuff like that. And,
right.
you're obviously amazing, man. You're doing a lot of great stuff. I have some questions for you today, too. It's not a one
Oh no,
way, we're going both ways.
you're gonna turn on me. Hey, you can say
Yeah.
something nice about me. I can always use the testimonial to post. So go
Man,
ahead. How awesome am I, Zorik? Go use your own words.
well, you're the only realtor I've seen on a roof with a leaf blower getting his listing ready for the market. So I don't think anybody else has ever done that. Maybe there is some realtor out there somewhere. Maybe you got a long lost twin out there, but I mean, that already
uh,
speaks volumes to your commitment. That's why your clients love you, man. I don't know how you do. I don't know how you cover all the bases. With the number of listings, the volume that you get, like how do you do it? Like how do you make sure everybody feels like they're getting Scott Nell, like the best of Scott Nell?
think I think my superpower, to be honest, is surrounding myself with great people.
Mm,
My dad told me if you want to make $1 million, surround yourself with 10 people that want to make at least $1 million. And I surround myself with people that care, that put the client first, and then what I do is I focus on the things where my superpower to really is to delegate, to orchestrate, make things are going smooth, make sure the creative aspect of the project is happening, etc. So that's what I do. I focus on that, and then I happen to have four virtual assistants, and I, of course, Equity Union. I mean, Harma has set up a situation here where we're so well taken care of that I don't have to think about so many things because Harma and the team take care of so much of it. I have to hardly do any of that. So that's really good. So I just surround myself with great people, focus on my strengths. So there's your answer.
agreed, man. And I do see you always bring in like this artistic approach. Like your photos, your marketing and stuff is always like it's like a
That's
story
right.
being told, man. I like that. The videos you guys put out, very rad.
Well, I like the way you put that because it's hard to explain to people when I'm in the living room to say I like to tell the story of the property, visually and in words, and they're kind of like, "What?" And I said, "Well, let me give you an idea," and I can show them. I go, "See how we prepped and we aligned this and we did this so that we could take you on this journey with this house because this is what the market is." And when people get it, I'm hired almost instantly. And when I see their eyes cross, like I have no idea what you're talking about, Scott, I just move on to the next thing. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's the story of the
yeah.
house.
So with four
Definitely.
virtual assistants and you have a team also, junior agents and co-agents, do you find yourself doing a lot of work like after hours to make sure all these people know what they need to be doing next?
Not as much as you think, and because the our model is very different because I consider that everyone on my team sales partners. That's why I changed it from the Scott Nell team to the Nell team because I didn't want one of them to drive up and go, "Oh, you must be Scott." And it's like, "No, I'm so and so." So everything I do is to help them, assist them, back them up. They do their own deals. We help each other with deals. We partner on deals. So I seriously consider them partners, and I think that's why we do so well because we're always watching out for each other. We're making more money because we're together, and I don't have to sit there and hover over them at all. All of them,
Yeah.
when they were newer, I had to do more of that. But they're all so freaking good. They're independently, they're great agents with or without me. We just happen to be really, really good together. So that's how we do it.
I love that, man. I see that. The guys who I know, I think all the guys on your team, they've all been with you a long time. That already speaks volumes.
I'm
Great, man.
fortunate. I've got great people on the team. One of them, I
Who?
was just talking to Topher, and I said, "How long have we been together?" And he goes, "No, about 10 years." I went, "Jeez." It's like, "Why the hell do you
Wow.
stay with me?" And he goes, "We're a team, man. We're a team." And
I
I'm
love that.
so glad that you feel that way because when we walk into a room, I don't want to introduce them like, "Oh, he's this." No, we come in and this is my partner, and
Yeah,
that's how
yeah,
everyone's introduced. Yeah, and
yeah.
that's how I feel. So it works out. But enough
That's
about
right.
me, man. You're a good interviewer. You need to start doing this shit.
Yeah, I got a whole list here. I was just working my way down.
Let's pause for
Tell me.
just a minute. I do actually do appreciate that. You know what I should do?
What's
One
up?
day you'll come back and you'll ask a bunch of questions so I can create some reels answering questions, and that'd be like a great little series for me to share. But I would love to do this with you at a different time for sure.
For
Right
sure.
now, though, I want to hear about you.
All right, drop it, man. Go ahead.
Well, there's not much. There's not much to drop. This is. I'm sure you have with all your years in residential and then in commercial, I'm sure you have lots of stories. Like you already said one of them, like the one I inherited Tiki the cat.
Hmm.
That's already a good story. Or at $19,000 cash for keys for a shed. See, you already got two great reels right there. We're already halfway through just because you already
Yeah,
have great stories. But can you share
I
another
got
one
you,
with
man.
us? Yeah,
Yeah,
share
let's
something
see.
else.
There's a did I ever tell you about how I got this how I got I think it's like a $7.5 million listing in Winnetka?
Wait. What goes for 7 million in Winnetka? Is it a shopping center? You mean?
Yeah, a shopping center. So
Yeah.
I got
Tell me.
it. So the way I ended up with this listing is one of the first people I ever did a commercial real estate deal with, somebody who I still reach out to quite often. I talked to him and he says, "Hey, I'm in an exchange. I need to find something. I'm getting rid of one of my Texas properties." Okay, let me see what I can get for you. I already know what he likes,
Hmm.
what he's looking for. And we find
Okay.
this shopping center in Winnetka and we go for it. And we take a look at it. There's a good amount of upside. It's maybe like, I don't know, 15, 17 tenants, something like this. Uh, and there's a good amount of upside, and we're looking for cam that's not being collected, or rents that just aren't being raised, or maybe a couple of vacancies. It's his wheelhouse. He loves it, and he does good with those things. Something that's already operating but not maximized. So we get out, we
Hmm.
write an offer on this, and we get into the negotiation stage. This is a listed property. It's not my listing. It's
Hmm.
listed by another broker down in LA. And so
Okay.
we get into the negotiations, we get back and forth, and you know how it is with every tight negotiation, you really start coming down to, on a $7 million deal, we came down to $50,000 apart. As we're $50,000 apart, I'm taking a look at the brochure to try to see where I could find value, or where I could find a hole to either poke it for the other side or show value to my side, right? And as
Hmm.
I'm doing this, wait a minute, wait a second, these guys charged the cam twice, or there was some kind of mathematical error in the brochure, and then NOI was off by probably like $90,000, which crushed
Hmm.
the deal by, I don't know, what is that, at a 5 cap, that's like, I think, $180,000.
Hmm.
It crushed it. It ruined the whole deal. We were 50 grand apart. Now we're like 200 grand apart. Deal was
Hmm.
done. So deal was done, and we just let it be. We looked for other properties for that guy, and I noticed, like, maybe like a month later it got pulled off the market. So, like any good broker, I reach out to the building owner and say, "Hey, are you looking to put this back on the market?" And she says, "Yes." She goes, "I recognize your name," and he goes, "I'm glad you called me." Nice.
Uh-huh.
And just by finding like this little mathematical error in there, we
That's
were able
awesome.
to re-strat. Yeah, I mean, because she had a wrong idea of what she was presenting to the market, because she was privy to cap rates and NOI and the price, and said, "Okay, if I'm delivering, 5.5 cap rate, why am I not getting it?" This was before COVID, so 5.5 was actually
Hmm.
really, really good.
Hmm.
Anyway, so I ended up getting that listing. It was a great deal,
That's
and
great. I love
and
that.
I got a client for life out of it.
That's awesome that you figured it out, and then all of a sudden she has to make that adjustment. Thinks she can go back to market with new numbers, but no. Were you able to negotiate the price down lower?
I think let me see. I think we probably took it out pretty close to that price, but yeah, I can't remember. It's been quite some time, like maybe like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
That's a great story. You saved it by figuring that out. I wouldn't even have thought about adding up all those numbers. It's like let's check the numbers. I bet every time you do a listing right now, you double and triple check your numbers.
I do. I do. Yeah, absolutely. I have somebody who does my brochures for me, But when they come in, like I just recently I skimmed over one and I said it was fine and it had mistakes in it. You can't let those go, man. You can't. You
Okay,
really got to
excellent.
in detail. Because you want to check something off your list. It's like 5 p.m. and it's you've been waiting for the brochure for a few days and it comes in. And you're like, okay, great. Let me get this off my desk so tomorrow we can start marketing it. And you say, yeah, it
Hmm.
looks good, and you fire it off. And there's a little typographical error that kind of it'll ruin your deal, man.
Absolutely. I think even more when it comes to commercial, residential is a little bit more, more colorful and artistic, and it's not as much. It is about numbers, but not as much focused on the numbers, the cap rate, the NOI, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's nice. It helps to have nice and pretty photos of the building and the street, and some kind of
Hmm.
shiny color, something that's nice on the eyes. But it really comes down to the numbers at the end of the day.
All right, without giving any names, what's the worst client you've ever had? I mean, a pain in the ass that you go like, what am I thinking? I'm just gonna get through this, get paid so I can support my family, and I'm never talking to this person again.
I'm the kind of person who my mind will block things like this out because I'll say I'm done.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I say I'm done with somebody, like they can't enter my circle again. Like when I'm done, done. You know what I will say though? Okay, I have a client without naming names, client who called me on a deal. It was a listed deal. It was listed by somebody within our brokerage, and I reached out to the broker and we talked about the deal. And I went back to the client. I gave him the information that I was able to get and the price I thought we were going to be able to get it at. And this is a client whom I've done many deals with. And later I find out from my lender who I connected him with that he's doing the deal. So I call him. I said, "Dude, are you doing the deal?" And he goes,
Uh-huh.
"I am, man." He goes, "It just so worked out. I was talking. I really need it for this price, so and so. He goes, I'll make it up to you." And I said, "Thanks, bye." And the guy tried calling me back for like months. He tried calling me back for months
Hmm.
until one night he texted me. He goes, "Dude, are you mad at me?" I said, "Yeah, I am mad at you. If you're gonna go after a property, go for it. If you feel like you're gonna have the edge without representation and you're comfortable going with taking that risk, go for it. I'm never gonna stand in the way of your deal." Well, anyway, since then he's given me two more listings.
Ah,
He's competing probably in like my top. He's like the top three, one of the top three clients I have in number of deals that we've done together. So he came back around and yeah, I explained to him. I said, "Listen, I'm never going to stand in your way for a deal. If it's a competitive deal and you think by going direct you're going to be able to get it, go for it. Yeah.
so
And
did
if you're
you tell him
comfortable
about
taking
it
that
and then he
risk."
went behind your back?
He knew about the deal. He told me about the deal, but it was listed from a broker with a broker who I
Oh, so
know
he
very
went
well.
direct.
Yeah, so I talked to the broker. I got the lowdown. I told him, I said, the deal's going to get done at this number. Then a week goes by and I'm dead silence, and I'm talking with my lender, who's somebody who I connected him with,
Right.
and he goes, "Dude, I just got to tell you, he's doing the deal." And just
Wow. Wow. I
yeah,
have one recently with someone who I really, really like, and they've been giving me multiple deals, and they've been giving me multiple deals instead of this other big agent that they used to work with, who I respect actually. And then all of a sudden, I get a call saying they want to submit, but they were going to maybe go direct. And I said, "What? Why would you? Why do you think you're working with me? What don't you remember the value? I know this agent. I know the questions to ask. I know how to do this." And we ended up negotiating. They said, "You know what? You're right. They did want me to take a little reduction in commission, but I said, I'll tell you what. Usually when I do multiple deals, I'll take a reduction in the second part. So we'll do this one at full price or something like that." So they said, "Well, we need the cash right now. Can you take the deduction
and the
out of the
first one,
first one and then go full boat on the second one?" I said, "That sounds awesome. This is just coming down to the same net. Now let's get it for you." And we did, and it was great, and it was a love fest the whole time. But I was just glad that at least that they told me, as opposed to me finding out, because that would have been very upsetting. But they came to me
yeah,
and they said, "Look, we found this on our own. It's it's out of our reach right now. Do you think you can help us get it?" And then but it worked itself out.
yeah, that happens sometimes.
Oh my
I got a
gosh, so
question for
many
you.
stories.
I got a
Yeah,
question for you. I don't know how you are on time right now. Let's just say we took Scott Nell, we dropped him in a brand new state, New Mexico or something like this. Like, what's the first thing you would do?
take a nap.
I'm talking about in your real estate. You show up to your new office
The
Monday
I'd
morning.
want to. That's a good question. I'd want to get to know the community. And when I say the community, like let's say it's a small town in the Northwest. I'd want to, drive the town, understand the town, talk to people, break bread. That's what I'd really wanted to start out by just getting to know the surroundings, getting to know the people. And then I would go, okay, now where is my heart being pulled? Because it's most likely going to end up being real estate. How would I like to go? And then I would start just doing my research. It's like whenever you start a business, you do your research to
Yeah,
get
but
into
see,
real estate. Here, I had to get to know geographically the market, but I'll tell you, I went, when I first started out, no one was studying, going to more classes than me. I was going class,
hmm
class, class. And they said, the manager would say, didn't you already go to that class? I said, yeah. I said, but I'm a newer agent. And then I also would find out who's the best in the industry there. So I do some research, find the top 10, and I take them all, each one of them out and say, can I take you out? Can I talk to you? And I would find out who's doing what and how they're doing it. And I would take the best from each of them and then I'd make it mine. And so
it's so it's
that's how that's how I would do it very methodically. And then I put together a business plan and then don't be a weenie, actually implement that business plan, and then don't put anything
mhm.
on the business plan that you're not willing to do. Does
No,
that
it's
help?
amazing how you started. It does. I just love how you started that because that's the Scott Nell that I've got to know is you started out
Thanks,
with your
man.
heart first. You started out with get the community, break bread, see what's going on first. Most people would have
Mm-hmm.
approached it strictly like a business. In my mind is, more of like a business approach. Okay, first thing I'll do, pick out a farm, start sending mail, something like you want to get out, you want to understand the people, you want to have conversations. And that's what makes you what some people call the great connector. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
Good
appreciate
work,
that.
man.
So this is what we need to do. This has been great. I told you it was going to be quick and easy. Got more than enough already for the reels. I would like to set a time at the beginning of the year where we don't plan anything out, except for we just sit down and, we'll spend a session asking each other questions.
I like that, man. Well, I'll ask for one favor though. We got to do it in person. So we have
Okay,
like a
we can figure that out.
nice
Yeah.
nice camera set up. I got microphones. We'll set up everything,
Okay,
man.
let's do
I
that.
can even bring at least one camera. We could use iPhones, have a few different angles, and just go for it. For like, we could do after 5 p.m. with a drink, or before 5 p.m. without a
I
drink,
like
whatever you
that.
want. But like,
Martinis.
just to kind of open it up and yeah,
Okay.
loosen up a little bit. And I think it'll be bad. It'll be badass. Thanks for that. That's a good idea.
Oh, that sounds good. What I'm gonna do is I have a great videographer. I can say, hey, look, I'll give you a few bucks. Can you come do this? And we've been working together for years. So yeah, we'll figure that out. It'll be fun. We'll mix it up,
Sick.
make it a little different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Awesome, man.
Sounds good.